the weekly show in a nutshell with Almond. I'm a Hong Kong journalist based in Hong Kong, and we're giving you weekly updates on what is happening in Hong Kong. Now, today I wanna, if you have seen the title of my broadcast, today's topic is one of the major big topic is that Grandma Wong, that is one of the very iconic protest figure in Hong Kong, who is known for waving the British flag or the colonial era Hong Kong flag. And let me just check it out on my Instagram. Let me see if that's on my Instagram too. Hi, Mark. I have, let me see. Seems like it's not on my Instagram right now. Is it on my Instagram? Is it not? Right. I've tried to bring the broadcast to my Instagram feed so that you guys could see me on Instagram as well. But it seems like it doesn't really work. But that's okay. We could figure it out later on or next time. It's okay. We're still here. So again, like I said, today's main point is about Grandma Wong, but there's also other stuff that I want to talk about. Other updates in Hong Kong, including like COVID situation and what is the government's next step or the plan for the future. So let's talk about Grandma Wong first. So for those who have, let me just show you a picture of her in previous protests. So that's her. That is her waving that very bright British flag out there at one of those protest scenes last year. That was in July, I believe so. Yes. So she has been known for bringing her British flag, or like I said, the colonial era Hong Kong flag to protest scene. She frequents protest sites quite often since last year. And she was known as Grandma Wong. She spotted a very silver white hair, and she actually lives in Shenzhen, but then she travels to Hong Kong like very frequently, and she's always at those protest scenes. And she is, and a lot of you have asked me about Grandma Wong, especially since early this year. She was disappeared. She disappeared since last year. For those know that she's not my grandma, but she is an elderly surname Wong, so she's dubbed Grandma Wong by Hong Kong protesters. And so for those who have asked me before, Grandma Wong has been or has disappeared from Hong Kong's protest site, as well as some news media report, because a lot of the local media also follow her sometimes, seeing her at the protest sites. And so it's true that she has disappeared for quite some time, actually since last August. And the reason why she has disappeared is that she was arrested by mainland police, and she has been detained for more than a year already. And so she was arrested. She was, like I said, she lived in Shenzhen, and one time in August last year, she basically she was in a protest in Hong Kong, and then I believe mid-August she went back to Shenzhen. She was crossing the border, and she was arrested by the Shenzhen police at the border, and where she was detained there in Shenzhen for quite some day, for 2 weeks, and then she was detained after the first 2 weeks. she was further detained, and she has no reason why. And after quite some months, she learned that she was accused of this so-called picking quarrels rather, and provoking troubles on the mainland. And so it was this charge that led her in more than a year of detainment on the mainland. So she was put in jail for quite some months, and then she was later sent back to her Shenzhen home, but she was still like under very close monitoring and surveillance of the mainland authorities. So that's Grandma Wong here, and I just want to show you guys. She has been coming back to Hong. She has come back to Hong Kong just earlier this month, and after she finished her quarantine, it was just a few days ago, and she had a press conference to talk about like what she experienced in Shenzhen's or mainland authorities' detainment. And let me just show you this video of her coming out of quarantine in Hong Kong. So this video is actually posted on a Facebook page of a Hong Kong lawmaker. His name is Eddie Chu, and he has been helping. And this gentleman that you see on the video in the jacket, his name is Fernando Chung. So he's also a lawmaker in Hong Kong. They're pro-democracy lawmakers, and they were at the quarantine center in Hong Kong to pick Grandma Wong up as her. Upon her release from the quarantine camp. So that's a video of Chu Hoi Dik, Eddie Chu, and so basically what she said in the video was that she was really happy to be back in Hong Kong, and that one of those very first lines of her speech was that she really she is remembering the 12 Hong Kongers being detained on the mainland as well. There are 12 of them detained in Shenzhen. The detainment has gone on for more than 50 days now, and so she was saying that I was really worried about them because she knows that, and she was saying that their situation is probably way worse than hers. So that's my that is Grandma Wong here being released from quarantine camp in Hong Kong. She only returned to Hong Kong since early October. So that's after her more than a year detainment on the mainland. And just for you, I'm just gonna publish this graphic so that you can also see the timeline, basically, and a bit of background of Grandma Wong. So she is a very iconic protest figure in Hong Kong. She has attended a lot of protests since last year, but she was arrested and have been detained in Shenzhen for quite some time, actually more than a year. And she only returned to Hong Kong early this October. And once she arrived and once she was released from the quarantine camp, she said that, I was really worried about the 12 detainees in Shenzhen. And there was also a comment from, so this is another picture of her. If you can see the card that she was holding, it was her just one day after her release from the quarantine camp. She held a press conference to detail her experience in detainment. And before the press conference started, she held up this card that says hashtag save 12 Hong Kong youths. So this is a trending hashtag right now. It was a hashtag created by the Hong Kong Human Rights Watch chief, and he is also like encouraging people to use these hashtags on social media to raise awareness of the 12 detainees in Hong Kong. So go back to Grandma Wong. She at the press conference, she detailed what she has experienced while she was being detained on the mainland. So she said that she was forced to sign some documents to agree that she will not appeal this punishment or this detainment, and she will also promise not to meet with any press or talk about her detainment. She will no longer protest. So these are all the things that she was told when she was detained on the mainland in Shenzhen. And she was also forced to take some travels to other mainland cities, she said, and she was forced to sing the national anthem, to record videos that said that she was not tortured, she was not forced to do anything, and that she loves China, she loves her motherland and whatnot. And she recounted her experience being questioned and being interrogated by the mainland authorities. She said that all the questions that they've asked were all around the Hong Kong process. She said that she claimed that she has any political involvement or engagement on the mainland while she was living there. She was not like political active. She was not in any political group. She was only at some of those Hong Kong protests. And so during the interrogation, it was all the mainland authorities asked. So yeah, that's she's suspecting that. And later on, she learned that she has been detained for picking quarrels and provoking, what is that word again? Provoking troubles. That's right. Provoking troubles. But just to give you a background information, there's actually no such charge, this picking quarrels and provoking troubles in Hong Kong. It's more like a mainland charge, and so it's unclear why she has been charged with that, or there's no, we don't know whether she's like now her, she has been punished in other than the detainment. We don't know whether she has been, formally prosecuted or whatever. But definitely she has undergone a whole year, more than a year of detainment on the mainland. And so that's her latest situation. Let us know if you have any comments or questions about Grandma Wong. And I'm just going to run the graphics again so that we all have an idea of who Grandma Wong is and what has she been through in the past year. So Grandma Wong said that she would, in several media interviews, she has said that she will not return to the mainland for the time being, even though her house is still there. She still has like her assets and belongings on the mainland, but she's not going to return because she's afraid that once she returns, there'll be no coming back. And she even said that in one of the interviews, she said that she would rather being arrested or being imprisoned and die in Hong Kong because that's her hometown, and she really doesn't want to return to the mainland or Shenzhen for that matter, even though her home, like her house, was in Shenzhen. So that's the update on Grandma Wong. And there's another update I want to talk about with you guys, is that the COVID situation here in Hong Kong, I don't know how y'all doing in your country. How's it going? It's definitely getting, there's a resurgence in so many countries, U.S., Europe, and all that. Um, and Hong Kong is seeing also another. I wouldn't say it's another wave, but there's still like a resurgence of COVID cases here. But nonetheless, we have some rather exciting news for some. Some may be disturbing news. But here, could anyone tell me? Do you guys recognize where is this place? The video that I'm showing you guys now. Does anyone recognize where this is? Because what I was gonna say is there's new plan from the Hong Kong government to set up this travel bubble with another city, with another place. And so, any guesses where this place is from? It's very close to Hong Kong. It's quite similar. Donnie said it's Taiwan. Unfortunately, that is a wrong answer. Any other guesses? It's quite similar to Hong Kong. It's also a very small but also modern city. It's quite finance or economic wise, it's quite similar to Hong Kong. Any other guesses? There's a very famous statue there. That sounds very vague. I'm sorry. But the answer is Singapore. It's probably because there isn't the lionfish in the video, so that's why you guys probably couldn't recognize it. But it's actually Singapore. I believe that's Marina Bay there in the video. But so basically, the Hong Kong government has announced that they would be setting up this travel bubble with Singapore very soon. Oops, sorry. I probably. Hi everyone. Am I back? So I'm just using my phone right now because for some reason my computer just froze. There's no way I can like click any button or whatnot. Can anyone hear me okay? Or am I still, is the live still going on? There has been some issues with the live streaming recently and I really apologize for that. But I hope everyone is hearing me okay. Can everybody see me? This is so weird. I don't know what is happening. Let me just show you guys my computer. It's just like, it just froze. There's nothing. I can't click anything for some reason. But, well, I guess I would just have to go on here. So yes, I don't know if you can still see the Singapore video, but that's okay. I mean, even if you can't see it, and I'm not sure if I'm getting the comments or questions from you guys, but so back to what I was saying just now, the Hong Kong government is setting up this new travel bubble with Singapore. It's actually the first trying to reinstate some sort of like tourism or travel in place since the coronavirus pandemic. And Singapore is probably the first city-state Hong Kong would be collaborating with on this travel bubble. And there's no concrete timeline yet, but the Hong Kong government says it could come very soon, in the weeks coming. So it could be as soon as November, according to the government officials here. And I don't know how y'all feel about, for example, we have seen other travel bubbles across the world. For example, Australia and New Zealand. There are also some like within Europe, I suppose. Within EU. I don't know how you guys feel about having this travel bubble. I've spoken to some people, but they're still like quite unsure because there's still a risk of transmitting the disease across border, and because the special part of this travel bubble is that people will no longer need to have undergo mandatory quarantine when they arrive either Singapore or Hong Kong. So there's this risk there, and there have been, when the government announced that, they were also questioned like what would they do if there's infections, cross-border infections happening or detected, then what would they do? Basically, the official sidestepped that question and said that they would really take stringent measure in terms of screening and also making sure having that mutual understanding with Singapore so that there is this strict measure there to make sure people who are sick will not be able to come, will not be able to, say, board a plane from Singapore to fly from Hong Kong. Or if they did board the plane, then that person would not be allowed to, get through the Hong Kong border or whatnot. But there's no concrete step or concrete measures in place, so to speak, to prevent this risk there. And so, yeah, that's the latest on the coronavirus situation in Hong Kong. There's still quite a lot of worries because there is Hong Kong hasn't quite get the outbreak under wraps right now. We're still seeing like quite some cases, a dozen every day recently, and there's a chance of resurgence because of the winter coming, and with the winter flu season, that's going to double down, and that's probably going to make things really worse, or worse than before. And with this travel bubble, it's quite with the lack of details right now, and there's no like clear timeline and whatnot. There are people who are worried about that, but there are also people, and especially those in the travel industry, they're saying, it's a really good initiative because the travel industry, the tourism sector, has really suffered a lot because of this pandemic, and they're hoping that with this travel bubble initiative, they would be able to, regain some business and, get their feedback up. And so we'll just have to wait and see how this travel bubble initiative goes. If there's any details or clearer timeline, I'll definitely update you guys. But so yeah, Really not sure if any of you is getting this because I'm just trying to do it on my phone right now as an alternative. I don't know what happened. Again, I apologize for any technical issues that might occur or might have occurred or have occurred rather. Um, and definitely DM me, find me on social media. Um, you know, follow me on Instagram. I don't know why this time the Instagram live didn't work out, but I'll try to figure it out next time. So follow me on Instagram. That's at almond.lee, and you can also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and definitely follow me, subscribe me on Haps, and you get the notification of me going live next time. And also sponsor me if you like my streams and like my show. And I'll see you again next week. Bye.